Hi everybody. It's a great day today. I'm sitting on the porch bouncing in my bouncy chair that I showed you last video. Today I want to talk to you about herbs we use in the kitchen. One of which is basil. And if you enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe. I promise you, I put out a video maybe every 2 weeks. Every now and again when I catch something that seems to be pretty cool to me, I might put it out on here as a short, but you know, I don't really do much of this kind of stuff. I'm just having some fun and keeping a record of my life for my grandkids. I also want to spread the news about herbs. I think they're wonderful. I think that they'll do 10 times more for you, and I hate to say it, but than a doctor will. But one of the herbs I want to talk to you today about is basil. I'm growing some right here. It's really easy to grow. You can keep it fresh in your kitchen and use it while you're cooking. But let me tell you some of the benefits about basil that you may not know. It's a fragrant herb that we don't always only use for food, but it's also found a way into traditional medicine. That's probably where it started. If you think about it, in the Bible, every time they went out and they were gonna kill a deer or get a rabbit or whatever to eat. Most of the time they didn't do that in the Bible, but it might be a sheep or something. But anyways, every time that they were going to eat something, they usually flavored it up with herbs. And it's been, years, but we've been using these culinary herbs for who knows how long now. Basil has a distinct aroma and a distinct flavor, and because of it, it gets to your senses, and it really spikes your curiosity as to, how did this plant get so much flavor? But like with all things, you need to be prepared, because there are some bad things about basil, and you need to be informed and use basil with caution. Believe it or not, we have it in everything, but there has to be some cautions used with almost every herb that we have. Basil is known for delightful aroma and its taste, and it's been used to elevate all kinds of dishes with its unique flavor profile, from Italian dishes to Thai curries, and it's become an essential ingredient in cuisines from all over the world. Besides the culinary charm, it's been linked to various health benefits. There's still a lot of studies that need to be made, because we've lost all of this information over the years. We now take a bunch of man-made drugs to take care of problems where our ancestors used the herbs to take care of problems. This herb, basil, it contains compounds with antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant properties. And with these, it can be used in treating things such as gastrointestinal issues and migraines and skin problems. While all of these things have been tested and tried over the years, the scientific community still wants more scientific research on these things. They don't want to just take everybody's word for it. And you have to say, well, okay, I can understand that. We do have limited data on it. One of the reasons why we do need doctors and things to look at these herbs is because herbs like basil include compounds that we may find very harmful to us. Basil has something called estragol in it, and it raises concerns about your liver health. Now, it has a potential carcinogenic effect on your liver, and we eat it all the time. So I'm thinking it's probably, if you use it in excess, I mean. So basil includes a compound called estragol, and it really raises concerns about liver health because it has potential carcinogenic properties. And that's why we really need to do more research on this herb so that we can tell, how much. Nobody knows how much. But like everything, I think it's just moderation. I think if you're using concentrated forms of an herb or an oil, you really have to be careful. This is where they decided to make, these pills that we take now. They decided to concentrate some of an herb's properties because it works for something. I personally believe you need to use the entire herb before it's safe to use. If you're going to, use anything, I think it has to be the whole substance. I think one part of the plant helps another part of the plant to work, but this is my own theories, not a theory that any doctor has come up with. But I also think that you know what's wrong with you if you really consider things. Think about it. Almost every time I've ever had a real problem, I already know what the problem is and how to solve it. Going to the doctor is just somebody saying, yep, you're right. Anyways, let's get back to basil. The topical application of basil, when you use it in a 6% solution, you can use it for up to 12 weeks, and it's considered safe to do so. But they haven't decided about the aromatherapy aspect of it yet. Smelling this stuff could be harmful. I think you would know when it's time to quit smelling this stuff. And while we eat basil in a lot of our pastas and Italian foods and things, it's considered safe for pregnant women and children. But the concentrated forms, once again, because of the estragol in it, should give you some questions about using it, a lot of it. I think everything in excess is bad, but if you limit yourself, I think you're going to be just fine. It has the ability, basil I'm talking about, it has the ability to lower blood pressure. And so if you're taking medications to lower blood pressure, then you really need to be careful. It impacts blood clotting, and because of that and the blood pressure that it could lower, you really need to watch using too much of it in an oil, topical, or even ingesting, You need to be careful because of other um, other drugs you may be taking. There's always an interaction with something that may thin your blood or lower your blood pressure. If you're taking stuff to already lower your blood pressure or already thin your blood, yeah, you might be in trouble using a lot of this. Eating it in food doesn't seem to be a problem for anybody. But if you're using it, a lot of it, it could be a problem. Um, it has a potential for increasing your bruising and bleeding. You know, you really need to control how much you use and how you use it. We don't have any dosing guidelines or anything like that to go by, generally speaking. Most herbalists, like myself, will start out with a small amount. If you're going to use it topically, then you probably want to mix it not only with your carrier oil, but another type of oil that will help thin out what you're trying to use it for. Before you try anything with herbs, you really need to know what your aim is, what your goal is with these plants. For me, I have a little bit of high blood pressure. It's not really high, it's just a little high. And so I do a few things. I walk a little over 3 miles a day. That's supposed to help lower your blood pressure, and I think it does for me. It makes me relax. But there's other things I can do. I'm not going to take a bunch of this basil to try to bring my blood pressure down so I can sit on my butt and do nothing. You have to be physically active. You have to get up and go. If you don't, you're going to die. And I say that as serious as I can, because once you start getting old, remember, it's hard to lose weight. It's hard to get your health back. It's hard to work out. If you don't stay physically active, you will die an early death. My aim is to be around until I'm 120 years old. My grandkids will be in their 50s and 60s by then. And I'm hoping that I get to see that. I'm hoping my kids are still around, but I'm trying for 120. That's my goal. And I would suggest that everybody else start now. Start now on your health plan. Anyways, let's go back to the basil. Basil is really more than just a culinary delight for everybody. It's an herb with a spectrum of potential benefits, and yet you still need to use some caution. While its aromatic allure is unmistakable, its role in health should be approached with care. A sprinkle of basil on your pasta is all cool, but venturing into the world of the extracts and concentrated forms, you want to do your studying and your research first. That will help you a lot. Anyways, it's probably about my time to close. So remember, enjoy the bouncy seat. Enjoy your herbs and add them to your food, and I'm betting you'll be healthier than most other people. If you like this, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks.